Welcome to Trash Panda Garage. Thanks for tuning in. If any of you caught our last video, you may be aware that we just installed a Goose Gear 60% rear seat delete, as well as some Builtright Industries composite MOLLE panels into the back of our 2022 Chevy Colorado. I currently have zero affiliation with Builtright Industries, but I was pretty impressed with these composite MOLLE panels, and as such, I wanted to do a bit of a deeper dive, especially since there was some dimensional information that I couldn't find available on their website or anywhere else. I think it's fair to say that Builtright Industries is fairly well known for their vehicle-specific and universal MOLLE panels, which they refer to as tech panels. Up until the end of last year, all of Builtright's tech panels were laser-cut steel that's then powder-coated. However, these composite panels are made from glass fiber reinforced nylon, and the first model they released is what we ordered. It measures out at 5 1/4 by 7 inches. There are a couple of subtle but important design differences between the MOLLE Tech Plates and these composite panels, which we'll go over here shortly. We ordered a few of these for our backseat project in the Colorado, so let's go through a quick unbagging, if you will, so you know exactly what you get when you order one. Inside the bag, you're going to find some promotional material as well as a fairly decent-sized sticker. Oh, and hey, speaking of stickers, we just released a few in our Redbubble store. We've got a few different designs, including a little surprise for our Nissan friends. No, we haven't forgotten about you. Link below in the video description if you're interested. Obviously, you get the panel itself, as well as 5 mounting standoff spacers and a couple of press-fit MOLLE nuts. We also took our calipers to the panel itself, and assuming a reasonable margin of error, let's just call the panel 3/16 of an inch thick. Also, the total panel height from your mounting surface with those standoff spacers pressed into the panel is going to be about 0.55 inches. Each of the included press-fit MOLLE nuts include a 1/4x20 and 1032 threaded hole. The spacing between holes on the vertical axis measures exactly 2 inches. On the horizontal axis, the spacing between holes measures at 1 1/4 inches, assuming they are pressed in the orientation pictured here. One design feature that intrigued me about these composite panels is that Builtright engineered some very small mounting slots for 1/8 inch bungee cord, as well as some essentially tension hooks or slots on the tops and sides of the panel that will hold an outstretched bungee cord tightly. One piece of feedback I would have for Builtright, if anybody from there is watching this video, is to charge an extra $1 or $2 and include some of the 1/8 inch bungee loops that are pictured here in your product video. I didn't have any at home, so I had to order like 50 feet of it off Amazon, so needless to say, I've got a lot left. Again, these panels mount with countersunk number 10 machine screws. Those screws are not included in the kits, as you saw earlier, but are pretty easy to source. We went over drilling and installation in the last video, at least installing them on the backseat wall of our Chevy Colorado, but the one thing I didn't talk about is how I actually had to modify one of the panels to fit around one of the metal factory seat hooks. And outside of being cheaper and lighter, I think this is where these composite panels really shine. If where you want to mount your panel requires some modification of the composite panel itself, whether that's drilling or cutting or notching, that's going to be a lot easier to do with this composite plastic material than it's going to be with a metal MOLLE panel that's already been powder coated. These composite panels are pretty rigid and strong, although they are going to be considered a lighter duty panel. So if you have something heavier to mount, you're probably going to want to look at a metal plate option. So Builtright, if you're listening, free bungee cords and more size options, please. That's all the time we've got for today. As always, thank you for watching Trash Panda Garage. We sure appreciate it. Until the next time, get out there, build something.